like maybe get breakfast or something. But after that, I do my rounds and make sure I would just pick random place. Like if the place is too big to do all in one round, then I would just pick random places each day to inspect
So like
and
maybe
use
each
my
day go
whip
to a
if they
different
got out of
part
line.
of a certain floor or different floors, etc. Kind of like a surprise inspection.
Yep, and they know it's coming every day, so any day it could be your day.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alright, I'm back.
Awesome.
Welcome back.
Braver, I was just explaining to these guys that this role playing is a little bit different than the kind of role playing that I normally do. My normal Pathfinder and D&D campaigns are usually ran more like a tactical board game with tokens and board pieces and line of sight and things. On this one, really the only screen you're going to see is what's on screen right now. It's all what's called Theater of the Mind, which is where we're going to describe kind of what's happening and the kind of events that are going on. And a lot of the world building is going to be done by me asking you guys questions. And one of those questions that I just asked to Jewel was kind of what his daily character. We had you guys describe your characters earlier, and I just kind of want to know what his daily routine was. And he gets up, has breakfast, and then he kind of does his rounds, kind of trying to be what the Demon King and reinforcing the Demon King's standards. He goes around to the different floors and areas and just kind of spot checks and make sure they're all in line with how they're supposed to be. Now, Keith, you being the master of traps, how's your day usually go?
Well, I guess I would spend a lot of time checking those traps after having a very nutritious breakfast, of course, and getting some exercise before starting the day.
Now, as far as the traps go, are there any specific traps you favor? Like things that you think, oh, this is just diabolically wicked. I absolutely love this trap. I can't wait to see somebody set it off.
Do I have free reign to like make up a trap or
You can
something?
make up anything you want, man.
All right, I guess it would be the combo swinging axe, spike pit, acid vat trap would be my favorite.
Wow. You gonna put laser sharks in that pit too?
Hey, I might.
Combo swinging axe viper pit.
No, so check it out. So basically, a axe will swing out from low on the ground, parallel to the floor, chop your feet off. Then the floor opens and you fall onto spikes, and then it fills up slowly with acid.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking brutal.
Nice. And what floor is that on?
Let's put that on the third floor.
So what I want you to do is you'll see on the center there, I have some places where it says floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, etc.
Mhm.
Go ahead and click on the paintbrush on the left and then go down to text. And underneath floor 3, you can make a box and kind of just type off that brief description that you just gave. You don't have to do the whole thing. You can say, low swinging axe, pit, spikes, or whatever. While he's doing that, Braver, as the kind of the person who handles the demonic affairs, you're really the demonic affairs HR person who kind of negotiates the workings of the armies and the monsters. What does your general typical day in the mansion kind of consist of?
Well, it's kind of difficult to answer for a few reasons. Do I have anybody underneath me in chain of command?
You can totally make that's up to you, sir. Do you
All
have
right.
anybody underneath you in the chain of command?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be the superior of a few people at least, to keep the smaller affairs out of my hair as I do my thing. Basically, I don't know. The whole thing with the monsters, yeah, I have to make sure that they're submissive to me, so I have to remain in a dominant role with them, which may include punishment, training, rewarding, that kind of thing. Make sure they are where they are when they need to be there, that kind of thing. I don't know, get them used to the daily rounds. Maybe they got to go on guard patrol too with humans alike. These humans need to be trained like Beastmaster type people. We
Okay,
can't.
so you employ not only demons but also like bandits and stuff, some kind of human entourage.
Right.
Your chain of command, the people. How many people would you say you have in your, I guess, elite guard of your chain of command? The guys that you go to, and then they have people that are underneath them.
I would say I would only need probably a good 2 to 4 people, and you could have whatever underlings that would remain under them. Because everybody fears the higher up chain of command. Shit rolls downhill, so
Okay.
somebody.
Do this. Roll 1 die 4 for me. So /R 1d4. All right. So you're gonna have 4 people underneath you that are kind of like um, generals or something like that, and they can be all humans or they can be different types. Do you want them? You can have maybe like ogres or orcs or trolls or imps or whatever you want. So of these 4 people,
Hmm.
tell me about them.
Okay, if I can think about it that way and use monsters that actually have humanoid intelligence, I would definitely want like some kind of null commander. I don't know if we have access to beholders or whatever those lesser beholders are called, but something of that nature.
Sure. So no commander or beholder, absolutely.
Ogre for the muscle. Then probably, I guess we could throw orc in there as well. And then, some of the people they might have under them would be people like, I don't know, goblins that might help Keith make his traps or whatever, like, physically do all the engineering and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, let me throw out there that I have personally designed the traps, and I guess I'd like to have personally designed quite a few of the traps in this mansion.
Well, that's cool.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, just assembly line type thing.
No, sure.
All right. So the way that you guys' demon army works is you definitely have on the lower levels the heftier, more difficult monsters down there. So I'm gonna say on floor 9. Um,
So the higher up, the weaker it goes. So you're talking things like, what, imps, methods.
yeah. So floor 10 is kind of your guys' resting place. That's where your guys' chambers are. It's where the king kept his place, and it's kind of the. I mean, there's definitely like not quite security monitors, but the equivalent of magical security monitors on floor 10 is like a CCTV system. Um, Floor 9 is definitely where you're going to have the Beholder Commander,
Right on.
and he's going to be an Elder Beholder. And he's on floor 9 not only because he's the last of the defense, but kind of Beholders are typically loners. So that whole floor is kind of his domain, and he doesn't like letting anybody there. So a lot of times you guys might even just skip that room just to because he's irritable old guy, but he's super powerful.
Makes sense to me.
So that leaves the Ogre Commander, the Null Commander, and then the Orc Commander.
I would have to, going by orcs from like D&D. I think orcs would be like the fodder. They would be. I would put gnolls above orcs. I'll put it that way, and then
Okay.
ogres would be even more powerful. So I guess it would go ogre or beholder rather, ogre, gnoll, and then orc. From strongest to least, of course.
Okay, so let's kind of choose a floor that they kind of, they might intermingle and go between floors and stuff, but let's have something where, um, which floor they might be on. So let's say the orc guys having goblins and fodder they probably start, really early, probably on floor 2 once they get past the initial traps that are in floor 1.
Okay, I'm good with that. I assume it would be, just a few that are posted at their, the points that they're posted at, and that's where they stay. And then you also got your guys making your rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we'll
Um,
do is we'll just kind of skip a few floors, and then there'll be the null commander, and then we'll skip a few floors and put the ogre.
okay. Sorry for being all half retarded, but my nighttime meds fucking kicked my
Oh no,
ass.
man, you're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. All right, now the other layouts of the room. These are just some kind of general notes about those rooms. We'll kind of develop the rooms further as we progress. At this moment, I would like each one of you to make a roll for me, and that roll can be based off either your cunning or your skill. So if you open your character sheet and look at either your cunning or your skill and click on the button next to it, it'll roll that skill and multiply it by that number. So Mixu used their skill. All right, Arata and Mixu, both of you do a roll off for me. So go ahead and roll again.
Wait, did I roll wrong? You want?
No, they tied. Well, let's see.
It says
Yeah,
two d
yeah, you
six
rolled
for
right.
me.
Yep. So what the way that it works is it multiplies
Oh, never
your
mind.
skill by the dice that you roll.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So your skill attribute is 2, and you rolled a 2, so it multiplies 2 by 2. All right, Jewel.
Jewel.
So Joel, you're doing your rounds one day, just kind of talking, kind of inspecting some floors. Go ahead and choose a floor that you're inspecting and describe it a little bit to me.
Floor 5, and this floor is made to lull the people that are trespassing into a false sense of security. It's very very comfortable and stuff. So I'm checking it out because a lot of the workers in this area, because it's so comfortable, they slack a little bit more. So I'm checking out floor 5 with all the, like, there may be an area with like an oasis type thing, because it's made to try to like make the adventurers take a nap, and as soon as they do, then the creepy crawlies come out and kill them.
Awesome. Do you think there might be some kind of like illusion spells in there that kind of
Yeah,
lend to
totally.
that?
Totally, that I would go right in. So that's why I'm checking this out, because of the posh nature of the floor. The workers here have a tendency to slack off a little bit.
Awesome.
It reminds me of John Arenicus's bedroom.
I barely remember. I know the name, and I'm like, I don't remember that particular scene.
Baldur's
but, yeah.
Gate 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're down there, looking at this particular, visiting this oasis, and there's definitely, a couple of goblins around here. You're like, why are you guys down here so far? You really should be up higher. And you're giving them the what to, getting them back to work and unleashing your wrath with your whip if you need to here and there, checking over some illusion spells. And, you've been, to you, it's like, I've been doing this for so long, and it's not really what you should be doing as a maid. You're thinking, man, this is really boring. I'd like to get out, maybe build up the army, maybe take it out and take over some other mansions and, acquire more treasure. But you really can't without the Demon King here. So you have this thought. And the thought is what I whispered to you. And basically at the evening, you guys, you do your rounds. And you kind of all congregate down at the 10th floor. Which let me put... Demon King HQ. So the 10th floor is, the headquarters and the maid's housing. Where you guys each have your individual room and your meeting place. So night comes around and all three of you have, you've done your rounds, checked your traps, checked in with the demons and the monsters, etc. Checked all the different rooms. You're all kind of gathered together, having dinner. So, which one of you is going to be responsible for making dinner?
As head maid in charge, isn't it? Or acting Demon King? Don't I get to?
Absolutely.
Do I get to tell which one of them?
You could assign that task to somebody if you wanted to.
We'll have Miksu do it.
Okay.
Okay, Miksu. So tell me a little bit about the dinner you've prepared, and how you've prepared it.
Well, I've prepared a nice pho. And I have a nice array of meats and vegetables and spices to be added, a la carte to your pho. And that will be followed. It's like ramen, kinda, like a noodle soup.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Gotta grow some culture. Anyway. It is going to be followed by a creme brulee dessert.
Nice. Now I want you to give me a skill roll.
Ouch.
You've definitely cooked before. The meal turns out pretty good. Creme brulee, a little bit harder, but you push through it and get just
Maybe
the
I
right
burnt.
amount of toastiness on it.
Okay, good.
So yeah, you guys are sitting there, eating your meal, just kind of discussing amongst yourself.
I would be quietly and calmly and coolly enjoying my dinner.
Let it be known that I didn't touch any of my food until I saw the other two eat.
Duly noted.
Fuck, see, I know this is the point where we're supposed to be talking, and this is the point where I can hardly talk.
If you want to type, you could probably get away with that.
Yeah, typing is absolutely fine as well. Joel says to you guys while you're at the table, "Hey, I need to bring something up." need your undivided attention. Winter cocks a brow. So I think it's only best if we continue his grand tradition of torment. No longer can we sit idly by and wait for adventurers to come to us. We need to have direction, a focus. Wish I could do different voices, but I can't right now because I'm too sick. We need a new Demon King. Rodajin waits to hear their thoughts. Oh no. No! I am not merely suggesting we make my role permanent. I say we figure out who best to be the new Demon King. Says Erotojin.
Got a little ambient music track you can play or something since we're mostly typing?
So, Misu, do you know you're a princess?
Sure. I do.
Okay. Maybe that's how you came into service.
Sure.
Jake. He's Jake the Demon.
Jake the Demon from State Farm.
I was thinking the same thing.
He did die.
Well, you know, one step you're working in insurance, the next you're working in hell.
And he puts his loot down and he's like, "Hey, I couldn't help but overhear you wonderful ladies talking about replacing the Demon King." And he says, "If I may be so bold, I have a suggestion."
Jake.
Well, you have all been doing a fantastic job in the Demon King's absence. Everyone that works here knows that, in the end, we are all just servants of the Demon King. We all serve his will. And because of that, elevating one of yourselves to that position in a more official capacity might cause a lot of unrest and potentially civil war between the different factions of the mansion. I suggest we find somebody from outside. Doesn't even have to be a demon, but maybe someone powerful enough, strong enough, that they could really bring everyone together. And from there, we would all still be his or her faithful servants. But, I recommend sleeping on it. Maybe something will come around. Maybe a better option.
What are you laughing at?
You haven't noticed yet?
Jake says, well, there's a whole world out there. Let's sleep on it and think of some things and, let's come back to that.
Khakis.
So it's getting late. You guys, you wrapped up dinner, talking to Jake. He's obviously getting a little tired. You're all getting kind of restful, and you feel like heading back to your rooms. Now, whether you head back to your rooms or not, I will leave up to you. So, let me know what you guys are doing.
Yeah. Head back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to my room. I'm not gonna go to sleep right off the bat, though. I'm gonna look over some new trap designs. Make sure that I'm trying to put the finishing touches on some new concepts.
Okay, so Keith, go ahead and just intern, I want each one of you to kind of describe your room. Kind of like you each have a very personalized room on the 10th floor that was made, specifically for you. One of the perks of being the highest ranked maids of the Demon King.
All right. Well, half of my room is going to be pretty lavish furniture and very very stately, I guess you could say. And the other half is going to be sort of like a workbench area that has all sorts of bits and bobs and pointy things and little models and stuff for designing the traps for the mansion.
Nice. Now, do you normally keep your stuff very organized, or is it kind of haphazardly thrown about with, saw blades laying on the floor and chains here and there?
Well, that's what the side with the workbench is like, but the side that has the furniture and stuff is all meticulous.
Ah, so night and day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mine is going to be very Spartan because of the whole self-punishment thing. I'm going to like treat it kind of like a monk's cell, like the basic necessities for my job.
So you have like a bed, a mirror, maybe a nightstand with the drawers, and like that's it.
Yeah, like a desk where I can write out my missives, and maybe because I have my armor, I might have an armor stand with maybe some basic tools so I can do minor repairs on it and stuff.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
just
Yep.
the basic. So no art on the walls, no bathing bins or anything like that.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, you guys could always just go up to the Oasis for that, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm self-punishing, but all I got to do is walk right outside my door if I really wanted to go get the other stuff.
And that actually, I'm gonna make floor 8. Is an actual like relaxing area because people think, oh, they're never gonna get this far, so let's deep down enough to. That's where a lot of people rest and recuperate and do all the fun things that demons and things and maids do.
Billiard, exercise equipment.
Yeah. So, Winter, tell me about your room. What's your room like?
Um, Depends on how technical I want to get with my job. Like, I could see tables and bookshelves and just things full of like ledgers as like for stupid shit for like
So you're like
uh,
really
re-
detail
re-
oriented about keeping the affairs and the like the payment ledgers and making sure the right demon armies get paid what they're supposed to be and making sure they're doing what
right.
they're supposed to be doing. So you got all these different books of like taxes and wages and all that kind of stuff there, right?
Yeah, like Regiment A requests this much money for armor repair and whether or not, it's approved or not, and, all the books with the black and the red in it and all that good shit.
Okay. So out of your four armies, your ogre commander, your beholder, your null commander, and your orc commander, is there any one of them that you maybe favor over the other ones that you kind of maybe treat better, or do you kind of have a even playing field with all of them, or even a rivalry with one?
Well, definitely don't fuck with the beholder. I'm lucky enough that he doesn't fry me every time I see him. Ogre Commander, he's probably higher up in my favor because if need be, I can get him and his boys to keep the gnolls and the orcs and goblins and shit in check. Uh, Definitely, I treat the gnolls very well though because they're such good fighters. The orcs, I kind of abuse the orcs, I guess you could say, because with the orcs and the goblins, they're doing all my machinery as well. So I usually have them like building like I said, I don't know enough about this tower and shit, or if the armies are ever gonna move out. But like I want ballistas placed and shit like that, and I need those ballistas to be maintained. So
Right.
basically, orcs and goblins and the lesser mobs, they pretty much get the shit jobs.
Like high mortality rates on the job and that sort of thing.
Right, right.
Awesome, awesome. So what about your guys' beds? I know Jules is probably gonna be very functional, just probably a normal twin size bed. It's just enough, big enough for her. What about the other two?
I'll have a 4-post canopy bed.
Very nice. What size?
Queen.
In winter?
I would actually prefer to have, I don't know what they're called, but, like, it's essentially a hammock, but it's just like a much bigger version of a hammock suspended bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. Like, nice, soft.
Absolutely. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I also have my rocket launcher mounted in my room, or a couple of them, and some kind of targeting practice area where I obviously don't use live ammo on, but gotta stay in practice with the old bazooka there.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys, time goes by. Keith is reading his books, working on his um, traps and stuff. But eventually, he gets tired, and she gets tired, and everybody falls asleep. Now in the morning, there is a very loud disturbance. I gotta find where I put this paper that I wrote. So give me a minute. Let's take about a 3-minute break or so.
I'm gonna go make some popcorn and beer back.
Grab a drink. Be right back.
Pee and make a cigarette.
All right, I'm back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So I was thinking earlier, it's amusing how all three of you are heroines but work for a demon king.
Say that again?
All three of you rolled the heroine type.
Yeah.
I'll also work for the demon king. It's very anime. Heroic demons.
Of course. Have you ever seen Parasite, I think it's called?
Oh, it sounds familiar.
It's about this, like, alien invades this dude's hand, and, like, the other aliens, like, eat people, but he's good because the alien didn't get to his brain or whatever. It was really fucking interesting.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds like something I would watch. I binge watch a lot of anime.
Back.
Sweet.